Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel, Central Michigan Stacker. Got a full-length video for you this afternoon on this 4th of July weekend. Early weekend, I know it's only Thursday, but for some of us we don't have to go back to work till Monday, and I'm one of them, thankfully. But here we are on the 4th of July, 2024. It seems like the presidential spot is up for grabs. Democrats don't know if they're going to keep going with Joe Biden or if they're going to stuff in a surrogate. Republicans are pretty much all signed up and lined up in fashion behind President Trump, and we're getting ready to have a real good November. It seems like. Hoping for a switch in the office myself. I'm hoping we go back to Republican. It just seemed like the United States was really on the right track at the point in time when President Trump had his say of things. And, we had a closed border. We had the lowest amount of illegals coming across that border that we've had since the 60s. Things were looking good. Gas prices were down. Food prices were down. Things to me seemed to have been going in the right direction. And as soon as Joe Biden got in there and started pushing his pen across those papers for his executive orders, the whole thing imploded. The squad and those bunch of cackling hags trying to get their way and their Green New Deal and, putting our country in so far in debt that all the tax revenue that's brought in from the businesses and people's personal income tax and every form of tax that you can imagine won't even service the interest on the debt that this country has. I'm not sure how we're going to pull out of it. I don't know if they're going to repatriate, gold. I don't know if that's one of their plans to give it a new higher value and in comparison to what we have in our reserves. And possibly, take down some of our debt that way. Or, nobody wants to buy our bonds anymore, our treasuries, because of primarily what the Democrats and Joe Biden himself did to Russia with all the damn excuse my French there, but with all of the sanctions he put on Russia. I mean, the rest of the country saw, well, if you're not going to do what the United States says to do, they're going to stop the money from flowing your direction. And up until now, the Saudis would only take our dollar for their oil. It's the petrodollar. And with the BRICS nations on the rise and, all these other countries that aren't necessarily a free democratic like the United States is, Jesus Christ, it's almost like good against evil is what this planet's turning into. I mean, you've got all these countries with dictators and mob rule, people in charge of their country, and then you have a democratic side, which you've got the United Nations, France, England, U.S., all these free democratic countries against the ones that have been formed with communist attributes. So it's going to be an interesting couple of years here for sure, but I'm not going to mumble about that much longer. I just wanted to show you a few things that I picked up within the past couple of weeks. I haven't been on here even to really run shorts. I mean, the business has been booming. Have to put in a lot of overtime. I'm not sure if you're new to the channel, I am a Local 25 iron worker out of Detroit, Michigan. So it's not like I'm a wealthy millionaire or something with just time to sit around and make videos all day long. But I like showing you what I've picked up for my own personal stack and maybe give you a little insight on the way things are going, as far as the financial situation in our country. But I picked this up at it's a brand new place in Baldwin, or I should actually say Auburn Hills, Michigan, but it would be the Baldwin exit off of Interstate 75. And he hasn't even changed the name out on the front yet. It was Gold City Jewelers, and primarily that's what it still says it is. But he had himself a small coin, gold and silver shop in a flea market type situation, and he finally made enough where he was able to buy himself a brick and mortar store for himself. But he had about 15 or 20 of these. They're like stamps. They're supposedly replica stamps of a certain time and date and time, but they all end up being 925 silver. And they've got this MC on the back. I haven't even had time to really look into them that deep to see, the manufacturer or where they come from, who made them, what they are exactly. But this one kind of looked like the winged angel on the Mexican Libertad, so I just grabbed it up. He had them for $15 a piece, no matter what size they were, whether they were, a little larger like this one, or if they were a little smaller, like the Polish one I found in there. This little Polska. Kind of a cool little stamp here. I'm not sure, like I said, I haven't had time to do any research on them whatsoever, but they're just really sweet. I mean, they're neatly made with some type of substance there, but they all have this same type of markings on the back. MC 925 sterling silver. I didn't think $15 a piece was that bad of a price for something that was pretty sweet. So I picked those two up. He has maybe 10 or 15 of them left. So if you're interested and you live around the area, that's where you'd go to be able to check them out. I got this. I picked it up. I was on Whatnot. And I want to tell you all a little bit more about Whatnot. That is a slippery slope. There's auctions going on 24/7. There's silver and gold auctions going on there right now. So if you're interested in checking them out, you could get on there and see if anything interested you. But I picked this up. I just asked them if it's not gold. Okay, I believe it's just copper. But I asked them if they had any Mexican coinage, and this is what the guy threw up there for sale. And, I find all different types of coins interesting. I'm not just a silver and gold guy, I'll pick up copper. I've got other copper rounds and stuff, but I primarily stack just gold and silver, but I thought this was a cool coin. 1962 uncirculated little piece of Mexican heritage there. It only cost me a few bucks. It's not like it was an arm and a leg or anything. But I picked this up from that gold and silver coin store now on the Baldwin Road exit. I like these Donald Trump, they're not coins, these rounds. I haven't seen this one yet up until now, and I do like it. Some of the other ones they made since 2016 really didn't do a great job on his likeness. However, this one, and then you've got the old eagle, like what used to be on the silver dollars until they changed it to the one with the eagle and, half of his wing missing coming off the side of the coin and stuff. And this is kind of a replica of that, but this is the side I like to look at right here. I'm really hoping this man gets back in the office. I'm not sure. Some of you may be Democrats. Some of you may be Republicans. I try not to bash, because up until Trump ran for president, I've got to admit, I didn't have a lot of say-so or an opinion as far as, my political view went. But between you and me, I just could not see that rat-faced scumbag Hillary Clinton get in to be this country's president. Not the first woman president for this country, not her. She is so, he nicknamed her perfect, Crooked Hillary, because that's exactly what she was and is. Those two scumbags, I liked Bill Clinton as a president, honest to God. I mean, he's one of the only presidents in my time that left office and we had a surplus in the budget. So, I mean, the man knew what he was doing, or at least he had people behind him that knew what they were doing. Um, and he had a good few years in there. I mean, I enjoyed my life during Bill Clinton's presidential run. Yeah, was he a sneak and a scoundrel? Yeah. Was he doing things in the Oval Office he maybe shouldn't have been doing? Yeah. Did they ever hound him about it like they did Trump? Absolutely not. The Democrats and the Republicans are two totally different types of people. I mean, we've seen it. We've seen how Joe Biden and them, took the law into their own hands, if you will, and primarily weaponized the system against Trump. I mean, it's not right, and people are hopefully they're finally seeing the light. I mean, it seems that way, but who's to say? Anything can happen in this country. That's one thing I do know. Anything can happen. I picked this one up off of Whatnot. See, I go on there and I'll go on sites that have coinage from other countries, and I'll ask, do you have anything, do you have any Polish coins? And the cool thing about it is, if they do, they primarily put them right up. So it's not like something you have to wait around for and wait around for and wait around for to see something that you're looking for. You can just ask the question, do you have any Polish coinage? And within the next coin or two, they usually put it up. And some sites are dedicated to foreign coinage. So just to give you an idea. And I do like this one. It's a little different than the other Polish eagles that I have. It's kind of like got a flag type for the wings and whatnot there. Polska, 1966. I believe this is 62 or 68% silver. I looked it up. It's not 90% or anything like that. It's not even 80%. But whatever. I didn't buy it for silver content. I bought it because I have Polish descent and I'm interested in the type of coins they have over there. So that's what I picked it up for. And they're quick on their shipping too. You buy something from Whatnot in 3 days, it's at your house. I mean, it's there. Here's something I picked up from that coin store also. I hadn't been there in a while, so I really didn't know what he had on his shelves, but I've been wanting to pick up another 5-ounce Libertad here. Maybe not necessarily 2023. I was kind of looking for a 2020 because they made so few of them, but he had a good price on it, so nonetheless, I went ahead and picked it up. And right there's the price that he was asking, which may seem a little high to some people, but I talked him down a little bit, so he seems to be a decent guy. And as a matter of fact, he has given me the green light to come in there and do some videos with him. So I'm kind of interested and excited about getting in there and doing that. I'm sure maybe some of you will like it. He seems like a personable, fella and a knowledgeable person. So we'll see how that ends up turning out. The last thing I wanted to show you was this little piece right here. I also picked it up from him. I talked to a friend of mine down at Gold Brokers in Waterford, Michigan, and he said that he has gold up the wazoo, if you will, from people coming in and just selling, because it's at its all-time high. So he's got bags full of it. Honestly, he has his shelves are just full. So if you're looking for gold, even though, like I said, it's at its all-time high, the selection is just, it can't be beat right now. As far as the Gold Broker and Gold City Jeweler, and then in Flint you have the Golden Eagle coin and stamp, which I was just in there to get the case because the guy there at Gold City Jewelers doesn't have any plastic cases like this. I stopped in at Golden Eagle coin and stamp in Flint and I picked up this case. It was only, I don't know, $1.50 or $1.60, something like that. They're usually pretty well stocked in there as far as supplies go. And like I said, people have been coming in and selling their gold like crazy to most of the coin places I go to. At least that's what they told me. And their shelves are primarily stocked. So it's a good time to pick some up if you have the available and, usable funds to do so. That's about all I have for you this week. I haven't been on here in quite a while. I know that. I apologize for it, but I've got more stuff coming in the mail. I'm excited to show you, and I think you'll like it. But, if the economy's got you down, if these high inflation prices have got you down, hang in there, because we've only got a few months to go, and there's going to be a change coming for all that stuff. Central Michigan Stacker. Like, share, and subscribe. And I'm out.